Hello and welcome to tonight's broadcast. Relax, take out your pen and paper, and doodle with me as I go over some of my favorite monsters in fiction and folklore. So you guys remember when Gravity Falls came out? It was and continues to be a sick show with a unique cast of characters, and since it's getting kind of popular again, I decided to hop on the bandwagon and talk about Bill Cipher. I'll go over Bill's origin, how he got to Gravity Falls, and where he is now. But first, I wanted to talk about something off topic, kind of. Have you guys noticed that everybody in the show has 4 fingers, but everybody insists on saying that 5 fingers is the normal amount of fingers? This, by the way, is corrected in the flashbacks with Stanley and Stanford when they're growing up, right? I don't know, has anybody else noticed that? Before we dive into who Bill is, to anyone that hasn't seen the show, I recommend you watch it. It's great. But if you can't, here's a little recap. The show is set in the summer in the town of Gravity Falls, Oregon. We follow twins Dipper and Mabel. Dipper is a bit of a nerd who becomes obsessed with the strange things that go around the town, after finding a mysterious journal containing vast wealth of knowledge. Mabel is less in search of adventure but still supports her brother. She's super positive and obsessed with everything colorful, and without her, the show would be way more broody. The two of them go through a series of adventures that lead them to understand that their Uncle Stan, who they have been staying with, has a big secret that involves the mysteries of the journal and the town. I personally got into the show through the 2nd season, and it kind of reminded me of all those creepypastas where the town is all weird. Sort of like Gas Station Jack. I don't know if any of you have listened to that or read it. If you haven't, it's great. I always read it around this time in Halloween, just to get into that spooky mood. So who is Bill Cipher? Well, he's the main antagonist of the show Gravity Falls. He's mostly present in the 2nd and final season of the show. He's a triangular demon with a little top hat, a cane, and a bow tie. His goal in his tremendously long life is to liberate our reality from its rules, although of course our heroes, the Pines family, are able to stop him, at least for now. So first, let's talk a little bit about his origin. Below the realm of the 3rd dimension, we see the 2nd dimension, Euclidia, where flat minds in a flat world with flat dreams reside. Here is where good old Bill was born to 2 flat beings, and with the incredible ability to see beyond his dimension, which led him to witness the stars. So he's alone, right? We can all relate to that. Bill has this incredible ability to see things only he can witness, and the agony of these restrictions finally get to him, and he manages to do the unthinkable, something hopefully no one can relate to. Bill will go on to genocide his species and his own dimension, burning it into ashes. This is known as the Euclidia Massacre. This act of liberation brought him to his next home, the Nightmare Realm, the space between space. I imagine it's similar to like where Lovecraft monsters reside, right? Sort of like that. In the Nightmare Realm, he finds acceptance, a lawless place he can rule over and meet some interesting friends. These are the beings we see in Weirdmageddon, the Henchmaniacs. The Nightmare Realm, though, is destined to collapse as it is so unstable. Here is where the prophecy comes in, a prophecy that detailed how his world of no rules could be a reality in the 3rd dimension, where he could finally have mass and be incarnated. This goal was simple: contact humanity, build a gateway from the Nightmare Realm to Earth, and take over. So here is where our favorite town comes into play. In order for Bill Cipher to contact humanity, he would crawl himself into their dreams and manipulate anyone that was willing to do as he commanded. First, he would target a shaman before Gravity Falls existed. He went by the name MODOK the Wise. Bill's manipulation and quick silver tongue got him close to his goal, but MODOK learned of a prophecy that would end with the end of the world if further contact with Bill continued. After the shaman's death, the people of the area came together in another prophecy. Bill would eventually be banished. Later on, the land would be established as Gravity Falls, Oregon. Stanford Pines, a brilliant man that's ambition for knowledge and adventure, eventually led him to Gravity Falls. Here, he would look into the general weirdness of the area and try to find an origin of it all, creating 3 journals of extraordinary knowledge. I bought the 3rd one at Target one late night. Anyway, so here's where Bill meets Stanford, and his manipulation is in full display, as Stanford, an established nerd, falls for Bill's tricks and tales of great unknown knowledge. Bill tricks Stanford into building Great Gateway with the help of Fiddleford McGucket, my favorite character. A test run of the portal leads McGucket to accidentally being sucked in, where he witnesses terrors beyond comprehension. Finally, Stanford gets wise about who Bill really is. He recruits his brother Stanley to help him cover up the gateway. Things go bad though, the twins fight and Stanford accidentally gets sucked into the gateway, leaving Stanley alone to figure out what his brother was working on all those years apart. Weirdmageddon. Bill does eventually partially meet his ambitions in Weirdmageddon. Here is where he escapes the realm of nightmares and becomes incarnated in the third dimension. He will liberate our world and turn it into a lawless land, or he would have if he wasn't trapped in the borders of the town. The Gravity Falls natural law of weirdness magnetism keeps Bill trapped in the area. Even though he's supposedly all-powerful and with infinite time, he still needs Stanford's help. Weird. But nevertheless, this leads Bill to his eventual end. As Stanford is unwilling to give up the info to get out of Gravity Falls, Bill threatens the Pines family, who tried the ritual to banish Bill, but unfortunately the two twins, Stanley and Stanford, are unwilling to work together, as usual. Only solution to survive is to give in and tell Bill everything, and Stanford agrees to let him into his mind. But wait, the interdimensional demon gets tricked and ends up in Stanley's mind, where through the help of the memory gun, Bill is wiped alongside Stanley's memories. Of course, Stanley gets his memory back, and the show ends in a pretty good note, so it's a happy ending. Or is it? So is Bill really gone?
AXOLOTL, my time has come to burn. I invoke the ancient power that I may return.
Those final words before Bill is punched out of existence by Stanley grant him an audience with the Axolotl. The Axolotl being an extra-dimensional being who's basically a god. This thing falls for Bill's pleas of redemption, but with the condition that Bill must pass his trials. To Bill's misfortune, these trials are conducted in the Theraprison, a jail/rehabilitation center for evil beings of immense power. Of course, here Bill goes even more crazy as he continues to try and contact the Pines family, and hoping someone in the third dimension shakes his hand, which I assume will be the key to his revival. So no, I guess Bill is not dead. Bummer for that reality, great for us if we want a third season. There's still a story there to be told, if not the creator would have simply ended Bill, but his continued existence must mean something. I don't know, what do you think? Personally, I'm hoping for at least a movie. So that was a lot more fun to draw than Not Dear. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to cover more theories about the show, but next week we'll be looking into SCP-096, the Shy Guy. If you enjoyed the weirder sketches, there'll be more in the next broadcast. Hope I see you here next week. Thank you for joining me and have a great and spooky night.